Hi students, I'm your instructor, Leslie Warnke. This week in Lesson 6, we're going to be talking about letters of application, also known as cover letters. A letter of application should always accompany a resume when you're applying for a position anywhere. For information on what to exclude from your letter of application, as opposed to the information from your resume, see page 179. They've got some good information there. Basically, a letter of application highlights the important parts of your resume without repeating all of them. So check out page 179 to see what to exclude from that letter. The letter of application has three parts. Excuse me, an opening, the body of the letter, and your closing. In the opening, what you should address is, why are you writing? Where did you hear of the vacancy? This is always really important. Employers like to know where applicants have come from, where they've heard about the position. Also, for which specific job are you applying? This is very important. You don't want to get an interview for a position that you didn't want to apply for. So be specific about the position that you're interviewing for in the opening as well. Also, it's not a bad idea to include what your most important qualification for the job is in that opening paragraph as well. In the opening and in the entire letter, try to avoid the unconventional. Don't try to open with questions. Don't try to come across as arrogant. Present yourself well and stick to the guidelines for a letter of application. It's the most professional way to get yourself in the door. The second part is the body of your letter of application. In this part, you need to discuss two different things, well, three actually, your education and your experience and how they both relate to this new position. Now, if you have little experience because you are just out of school, you're going to want to focus mostly on your education, okay? Most recent grads with little experience will focus on this more. Emphasize significant educational accomplishments. For example, on my letter of application, I always put that I was on the dean's list every semester in college. Okay, that's something that employers want to know, that you're a hardworking person, but any sort of educational accomplishment fits in this section. Also, like I said, talk about your experience. So if your experience trumps your education, if you think that's going to be a more valuable asset to you than listing your education, talk about that first, okay? Put the most important of the two, education and experience, first and discuss that. Then relate that experience and your education to what you're going to be required to do in this position that it is you're applying for. The last part is the closing. In this part, talk yourself up in a very polite way. Emphasize your qualifications for the position. Also, ask for an interview or a phone call and indicate when you're available for an interview. And as always, thank the reader. This week, your assignments are to create a letter of application for yourself as if you are applying for a position that you would like to have after you are finished with school at MTI. You will also put together a reference sheet and complete a forum post about letters of application. Go ahead and check out pages 179 through 184 in your book for examples on how to write professional looking and sounding letters of application. As always, if you have questions, email me at leslie.warnke@k12.sd.us. Have a great week. Thanks.